What's up everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about a women's 8-meter shooting workout. This is one that we could do post-practice, or this is one that could be a standalone on an off day, or finishing up a workout or starting a shooting workout. And the whole idea with this is to really get us familiar with different types of options that we could shoot off of an 8-meter. It's great to get your reps in practice against different defenders coming off of the 8-meter line and having a goalie in there. There's really nothing that beats that game-like scenario. But when you're trying to get yourself comfortable and get over that hump of trying something that you don't often do, or that you haven't even been comfortable to put into a competitive practice environment yet, this could be a way for you to add something new to your game. And I really think that the 8-meter presents a lot of opportunities for us to be deceptive, for us to work on different release points, and for us to think about how can we take advantage of the goalie and the D and maybe get them thinking that we could do something different from what we normally do or what's on the scout. And so today's shooting workout is going to be 45 different shots. It's going to come from 3 spots. So it's going to be 15 shots per spot. You're only going to use the hand that you typically use in an 8-meter shot. And we're going to do 3 rounds of 5 balls at each spot. So that means 15 shots a spot, and that gets us back to our 45. And again, the whole idea is sometimes I think less is more. We don't need to get out there and always hammer 100, 150 shots. And if you check out our post-practice shooting routine that comes from different spots, that also has that same mentality, because sometimes practices can run long for our college and high school athletes. Tough classes, other parts to our day can really contribute to a lot on our plate, but we still need to get out there and figure out how can we squeeze in the extra work. So our 5 shots are going to be a time and room shot. They're going to be a shot simply running it in. They're going to be an 8-meter hitch to get to the top side. It's going to be an 8-meter wind up and face dodge, and then it's going to be an 8-meter leaner, which is one of my favorites, and we've really found a lot of success with using, especially off of the carry. So we're going to take those 5 shots here. You're going to see me talk through a couple of the different techniques, and then you're going to go on and you're going to replicate that to get your 45 shot 8-meter workout. So our first shot, our time and room, again, we want to make sure that we get our foot as close to the line as possible. You'd be surprised how many players I work with when we start working on 8 meters, they're a couple inches off the line, or they step up and their foot's on the line. We want to be detailed. We want to have the same type of setup, just like a free throw in basketball, even though it's not as easy as a free throw, all right? But let's have that same setup. We need our body to be closed. We want to get our hands back. You want to really work on cradling that ball into a sweet spot. And that's something that I've really noticed about using a women's stick versus a men's stick. It's still that same type of feel. We have to cradle that ball into your pocket right under your strings, but to me it matters even more in a women's stick because of the lack of pocket. So really make sure that you're getting what kind of cradles you need to get that ball into that sweet spot and really be able to get those hands back. Now my front shoulder, front foot, I'm going to be stepping to my target, all right, and then I want to be in an athletic position. Okay, so once that line, you know, we head off the line, and once that whistle blows, we can step in, quick shuffle, and get it out. And here, what I've noticed, you know, what I always learned about the crow hop, which is the footwork to a time and room shot, what I always noticed was I was taught, you know, the step, bring your foot behind, and then step in. And, you know, if there's a lot of players that you start working with as a coach that you're just getting to, you know, in college, I think sometimes it can be a little inefficient to spend so much time over programming, bringing the foot behind, but do what's comfortable. And I've actually found in my shot technique, sometimes the quick shuffle still allows me to stay closed, still allows me to get that power off my back foot. So I think players should do what they're comfortable in terms of their footwork. They just have to stay closed. All right, and then again, we're just gonna get that athletic stance, step in, all right, and then pick our spot. Our second shot is going to be off the run-in, and I've made several videos about the 8-meter, and I think, you know, again, if you're a player that's super fast, and can start like this and run in and get your stick up, or start even in this loaded position, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. But I don't think it would be bad for you to explore, can you still get into a position that looks kind of like your time and room, but then you can explode quickly off the line. And I think that only makes it harder for defenders to anticipate what kind of shot you're doing. And I think goalies prepare and position themselves differently for an 8-meter time and room versus one that they're expecting you to take a few cradles and run it in close. So again, your second shot will just be that running it in. You want to have the weight more on your front foot and ready to push off your back foot so you can get it out in 3 steps. And that's where I think you could be really efficient to make sure you're getting it out before a defender crashes adjacent. Our third shot is going to be our 8-meter hitch. And what we're trying to take advantage of here is a defender over approaching, trying to get in front of our stick head in our shot, and then we're stepping around to the top side. So again, what I always want you to take a look at and start to think about is, who are the players that you're playing against on the adjacent? How aggressive are they, just trying to do whatever they can to get a stick on your shot and give up body positioning? The best part about the hitch in general too is that it gets you more angle, it gets you to the middle of the field. And I think it could be a really nice wrinkle to where even if you don't get anything out of it or get your best shot off, I think it also will slow them down the next time, because they know that you could be doing something different from just a time and room or just a run in. So again, with our hitch technique, which you can certainly read more, learn more on our platform, but quick shuffle, shot fake, step around, and then get to the middle of the field. You can always reset your feet for a quick shot, or you could turn that corner. That allows us just to work on, again, giving a different variation to our 8-meter finishes. Next one, same thing, just like our hitch, we're selling that wind up, but we're gonna shuffle, quick tuck, get underneath. And this is where I think also the threat of the shot sometimes prevents defenders from wanting to get in front of you and more just run at your stick head. And if they run more lateral at our stick head, that allows us to show shot and then tuck, and I think get more position on the inside. So again, here, you can certainly start like this and then just take off and tuck. But I think if you can have the poise and the comfort level to really sell your windup and then go, I think it's a great move. And I think it's something that's very under tapped in the women's game right now off the 8-meter. I've really only seen a couple players do it, a couple that we've worked with, and a couple others. I think there's a lot of room to add this in. So step in, wind up, tuck, and then get that shot off. And again, I think it's just a great option, and everything that we can do to work on more windups and more shot fakes is only going to benefit us on other parts of the field as well, and getting comfortable playing in that windup position. The last one, which we've posted a lot about, we've shown you a lot of different examples, and if you haven't seen them, make sure you check them out on our Instagram or on our online platform, but is the leaner finish. And it's a move that's really important to work on shooting and dipping our head simultaneous to the release. And we're just being deceptive here to the goalies. We're trying to get them thinking that we're shooting low, and then we can leave that ball up top. And it's just, again, a really nice wrinkle that we can throw in, as opposed to, so many players have always given me the feedback of, man, I really feel like I'm just staring down my shots. Well, this is the perfect thing to work on to start to be less predictable in your releases. So you can really start from this position. You can start in tight, and as you go to shoot it, you want to make sure that you're dipping your eyes and then firing and leaving that ball high, almost like a quick, hard pass to the top corners. And again, you don't have to be perfect, but you'd rather leave that ball higher than lower, just to make sure that you're not leaving it right in the goalie's chest. So this will be our 5th shot before we end up rotating and getting the shots off from the other 2 spots. That one there, again, that's an example of not getting it out quick enough, so I left it lower in the middle of the net. I'm gonna see if I can make that adjustment here and leave that ball higher up. I think if you have more whip in your stick and more hook, it's certainly a shot that's harder to hit. So you really have to make sure that you're dropping that top hand a little more and being really snappy to leave that ball higher. If you have more of a truer release, it's much easier to throw a more typical pass and have that ball be on a consistent line to the net. So as you work through, take 1 round to 5 at each of the 3 spots, and that'll be your 15 shots. And then do that 2 more rounds to get your 45. And again, I think after even 2, 3, 4 weeks of doing this in fall practice or on your own, I think you'll really start to see that you'll start to recognize different opportunities where you can incorporate these moves and start to see a lot more variation in your 8-meter shooting. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown and workout. Make sure you check out our FCL Online platform where we have all our drills, film study, and more. And give us a shout and a follow on social media. Thanks so much for tuning in.